Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news, stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific North, fresh from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
Sweet, sweet Mariners, baby.
Just making up a little ground uh, in a couple of different spots over the weekend. Only three games to break down, so it's going to be a little bit quick fire when we get there, but we've got some wheeling and dealing happening towards the end of the episode. But before we get into that, why don't I tell you a little bit about us? If you're looking for somebody that's ready to wheel and deal with the best of them, like a young Jerry DePoto, just making moves. Sometimes he was just making moves for the sake of making moves, and I'm ready to be that early one where I'm going to make a lot of moves, but I'm seasoned enough where I'm going to make them count. And that's me, your boy Coach Red. You can find me on X at the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red, TikTok at the real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave a comment or two. And if you're looking for a guy that, let's be honest, he's going to be the Jerry Jones. We're switching up sports on you. The Jerry Jones of trading, where he has his guys that he's heard of and he wants them bad. He wants them real bad. He's going to bring
Sure.
them to Seattle when we get to that part of the segment. It's Kane.
Yeah, I'm Kane. You can find me over on Twitter, Kane2406, TikTok, and Twitch, Kane0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Pause. Do it, freaking do it.
Mariners win 2 out of 3 at home against the Astros coming off the break. When the first two, lose on Sunday. He
Should have
had
swept
a
them.
6-1 win in the opener on a game that wasn't really close at all. 7-6 win in 11. And then a stinker of a game from the sixth inning on. And that was a 3-11 loss.
Yeah,
But,
let's.
but puts him at 53 and 46, winning percentage .535. Round that up. That's a good old 54% club.
Yep.
They're 4 games back of Houston. They are tied for the second wild card spot with Boston currently, 2 games behind the Yankees. They're a game and a half over Tampa and 3.5 over Texas, who's the second trailing team coming into this week.
So coming out of the break, this was a must-win series. I think we all knew that sitting here.
Marquee
But
matchup on Sunday too with Hunter
yeah,
Brown versus Brian Wu.
yeah, but big thing is, oh boy, what a statement they made out the break Friday night. Randy staying hot, 445 on a just monster home run. Mitch Garver coming up clutch too. And they really poured it on in the eighth inning, man.
And that's
Like,
what they were doing right before the break too. Late games in Detroit, that's where they were making hay, and it was something you like to see. And going into Saturday, they started off with an early lead, and Houston clawed back, took the lead, and then it got all sorts of weird. But the Mariners do enough to get that dub late.
yeah, and the extra inning game, big props to Cole Young, dude.
Big
Had
props
a
to Dylan Moore,
big,
game tying
yeah.
RBI in the 10th, baby. Whoop, whoop.
But with Cole Young, game saving, I guess, out when he was trailing into right field,
That was a sick
huge.
catch.
And then just for him to drop the barrel and poke it into right field for the win was awesome. That's his second walk off this year, and he hasn't been up that long. So
Yeah, good stuff all around. And
awesome.
realistically, the stinker of a game is the game that neither of us were able to watch with in much earnest. So
Yeah,
Guess
I
what? We
saw
don't
it
have
till
to
they were
talk about
tied.
that bad, but Brian Wu goes 6 innings again.
Yeah, it's just tough, tough break. There were things that could have been prevented, errors that could have not been made, but at least you won the series. A lot of fans were kind of bummed because it's like, yeah, you won the first two, but lost like that on the final game. And just kind of a bummer way to end the weekend.
The way that they were able to come back in game 2, though,
Yeah,
meant a lot. And when you come off a weird game like that, you never know what the next day has in store. But the Mariners have positioned themselves to be surely in the playoff race, which, as we will talk about later, sets them up to be active at the trade deadline. There's been reports galore by major players in the sports reporting game that says the Mariners will be active. The Mariners are going after impact players, and the Mariners are willing to increase payroll to do so. So, with all that being said, they're a team on an upward trend. You've got a home series against the Red Hot Brewers, 3 gamer, and then you go down for 4 in Los Angeles. And really, where you're going to be sitting after this is going to say a lot. I hope they make a move sooner than later to get these guys
yes,
in. You could use it against the Brewers, who are red hot right now. And with
definitely going
how
up.
up and down they've played the Angels, having a fresher face in there would not be something that I would say no to.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with that. They need to hold on a second. That's impressive. Nice. They really need to be active a lot sooner because they are in a position to strike while the iron's hot, basically. Because they've been playing good baseball even before the break. Yeah,
You had the
some
one stink. You had this. Yeah, you
the
evened it out on
Yankees
that roadie with the
series.
with getting swept, but then sweeping the top team. So you
Yeah,
put yourself in a good enough position against the good
right. And
teams
then you
to.
come out to then take the series against Houston. I think it makes a little bit more incentive to get it done by the weekend, please. That's all I'm asking. I thought that they were gonna make a move before they picked up play again over the weekend because
Wouldn't have shocked me,
it
but
would have been a lot.
I think
Hey, would have
I
been a
think Jerry
message.
even said that he was. It hadn't really started yet. There were
Yeah,
rumors that a few guys had become being made available, but before we talk about those guys, let's talk about the guys that did well over the weekend. Let's talk about the home gromers. And there's not a ton of
gotta
big
change the
name stats.
criteria this week.
What's that?
You had to change the criteria this week.
Yep, I did. But um, still holds true. We're going to go with it's not 10 at bats. I think I capped it. They needed at least 5 at bats.
That's fair.
And I did not put a inning cap on a reliever. So if you pitched an inning, you could make the list if you had a 0 ERA. But let's hop into the hitters first. The top hitter of the weekend, Mitch Garver, 429 average, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 homer, 1 RBI. It was a big one. Mariners were,
Yeah.
it was tight. And, he extended the lead from 1-0 to 2-0.
Yep.
Uh, Astros get one back in the bottom, but then you got into the 8th and everything really just started clicking. You tacked on 4 more. But Mitch Garver, you are seeing shades of odd year Garver. He was starting to get more at bats before the break. You are going to need him behind the dish to make sure that Cal Raleigh is fresh, especially coming out of the All-Star festivities, extra wear and tear on Cal, extra mental drain on Cal, with an extra physical drain going through the home run derby.
Didn't
So being able to have Garver step it up to 2 games catching a week, especially when you've got 7, potentially even 3 if
yeah.
needed.
Didn't he catch twice over the weekend?
He did.
I thought I saw that. I did think I didn't put
Yep.
it
Monday
together.
or Friday and Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Which I mean, I'm here for, dude. He's doing a better job behind the dish too. He's doing a way better job. Framing's a lot better, calling a better game, looking like the cannon's coming back.
He's becoming a very valuable backup catcher right now.
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't call him valuable. I guess
Uh,
more impactful.
in terms of backup catchers, he's pretty valuable in that regard.
Sure, sure. We'll go with that.
Let's talk about a guy who's increased his value recently, and that's our second leading hitter. It's Cole Young with a 333 average, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 RBI. The walk-off would have been a double, but single in the 11th inning on Saturday.
Yep. That was awesome, dude. That was so awesome. The one gripe I have about Cole Young right now is, hey, when Cal's throwing darts to throw runners out, catch the ball. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say. That's all I gotta say.
Another guy that was hitting darts, and it's good to see the bounce back that we've seen the last handful of weeks from Jorge Polanco. Clocks in with a
Yeah.
286 average, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and you're starting to see the power come back a little bit, and you're seeing the RBI numbers come back. So not power this week, but the RBIs and the ability to get around the base paths is much better than it was during that oh so fun stretch of June.
Yeah. Yep. Pitch was filthy.
Next top hitter, very similar stats to Jorge Blanco, and that's Dominic Canzone. 286 average, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 double, and 2 RBIs. Usually Canzone's 1 RBI over a full week, but just because it was the weekend, you want to put a little cherry on top, give you two
Yeah.
ribbies.
I mean, I don't. I'm kind of speechless when it comes to Dom Canzone this year because I I don't understand what I'm watching from him.
I know what I'm watching.
It's a completely
I'm
different
watching
player.
a young, controllable outfielder that, if you're able to go get a first baseman, becomes a very valuable trade chip to go get a relief pitcher.
That's fair.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
he's going to be younger than most of the guys you're trying to trade for in a
Yeah.
relief pitcher role. And the average is up. The power numbers are good. And when you factor in what he did power wise in AAA, power numbers are very good. And you're
Yes.
seeing him be less of a liability in the field. You're seeing the average up, and he's actually hitting a little bit of left on left this year, which was taboo in years past. So there's the opportunity that he is still sticks on this team, but there's also a real world possibility that he might be more valuable to another team to help you pursue a deeper playoff run,
Yep.
especially
And I'm
with the
okay with
likes of
that.
Robles coming back. If you move Luke off of first base, prime slotting into right field, you have
Yeah.
Dylan Moore that can take reps out there and play an above average right field. So there's there are things that will be in play as a whole when it comes to Dominic
Yes.
Canzone, but
Value's at an
I
all-time high.
I like him on this team right now.
I
It's
do
been fun.
too. I do too because you know how fun it is shouting spicy meatball every time he does something great? Like it's a staple in the house right now. I'll do it, and then Preston will yell, "It's a spicy meatball!" right behind me. It's hilarious. I do love Dom Canzone this year. The experiment is here. Like when he threw Gleyber Torres out in the Detroit series, I was blown away. Right, defense numbers are up, power numbers are up, average is up. It just finally nice to see it all click.
Another
So
guy that's been clicking hard, it's Randy Rosarena.
yeah,
273 average, 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 double, 1 homer, 1 RBI.
yeah, dude, the homers just keep coming, and they are impactful about every single time. When he crushed that, dude, I lost control of myself for a minute. That ball's
It,
crushed.
it was huge. I mean, in a game where you needed something to happen offensively, because nothing had really happened offensively for either side to that
Mhm.
point. Um, it was huge, and you're seeing him play better defensively. There's a little bit more effort that's
Pep in a
being thrown in
step.
there. So,
Yeah.
another good week for Randy, and we'll see what happens this upcoming week. We'll get to our two picks to click now, which were Julio and Cal. Julio is my pick. I got Julio with a 250 average, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 RBI, and 2 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Cal was your pick to click, a 154 average, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 RBI, and also a stolen base.
Yeah.
Not two.
He's got 11 on the year.
It was a
It's
little
pretty neat.
it was a little underwhelming for both.
Yes.
Julio got deked out on a steal attempt, and I don't know what the hell was going on, but he more than made up for it with his fly slide into home, where he then did the butterfly stroke in the dirt.
Yeah.
Um, Still playing top notch defensively. Um, and then Cal, you hoped would get back to it, but a little bit more rest may be needed to get him back to what we saw the last few weeks before the lead up to the All-Star break.
Mhm.
Um, Still snagging bases, still doing stuff. Had a good game behind the plate in the second game. Um, was aggressive on the hit by pitch knob, not hit by pitch score, because do not think that Josh Hader thought Cal Raleigh was trucking home. There was a lot
Mhm.
of confusion going on that play. I'll break it down. So you've got uh, Cal Raleigh's at third. I think Randy Rosarena is on second. Dylan Moore is up to bat. Ball comes in, hits him on the hand and knob simultaneously. He's writhing in pain. Uh, Everyone kind of stops for a second, except for Cal. Josh Hader goes to pick it up, then tries to look at Cal, bobbles it on there, gets Dylan Moore at first. One of the rare times where the opposing team, the pitching team, challenges that it was a hit by pitch
Yeah.
because it was a game time run in the 10th. But Cal's baseball IQ in that moment
Was
was
huge.
it's top notch. That's he's the dumper, dude. He just dumps out baseball knowledge.
Yeah. Big Cal fan. Big Cal fan.
I do think
I
that Julio edges him just when you look
yeah.
at you've got similar numbers across the board, but Julio beats him in average and stolen bases.
Yeah.
Even though he had a base running blunder and Cal
Yeah.
had the opposite of a blunder, but Julio still getting some stuff done and still clicking
Yep.
better than he has for a while.
Agreed.
Let's go
Agreed.
to the relievers. We have 4 relievers with a 0 ERA, and we'll start at the top with the guy that had 2 games pitched, and it's Gabe Spire. Or one total inning, but appeared in 2 games, and no strikeouts, no walks. That's why it was. This is a weird part of when we
Yeah.
talk about these relievers. There's not
A
for
lot.
someone there not a ton of stats to go off of. Uh, the next one is Andres Munoz, 1 game pitched, 1 inning pitched, 2 Ks, 1 walk. And your another guy, Trent Thornton, 0 ERA, 1 game pitched, 1 inning, and 1 K. Now we'll get to our picks to click. You had Matt Brash. Matt Brash appeared in 2 games, 2 innings pitched, 2 Ks, 3 walks, and a 4.5 ERA.
Did not look very good.
Nope.
No.
Wasn't the best
Wasn't dialed
couple of
in, dude.
days for our boy Matt Brash.
No.
But my pick to click looked really good.
He did look really
Alvaro
good.
Bizarro, 0 ERA, 2 innings pitched over 2 games, got a win and had 2 Ks. When he came in on Saturday, he played mop up duty on Friday. You were looking
Yeah.
to see Mooney. They put 4 on the board, and Bizarro comes in and just gets 3 outs. Bizarro on Saturday coming in with a runner on second in was the
Just
top of the 11th.
I think he blacked out, dude.
Dude, two strikeouts, and he couldn't. He didn't even the runner didn't even advance to third.
No, like I think he got possessed, dude. The run he's on is unreal.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
he was him.
Yeah. So you got me on pick to click this week.
Yep, I did. But there is one other person we're going to talk about, and that's Luis Castillo. First start off of the
Oh,
break, 6 2/3, very close to being able to get a full 7 in, 0 ERA, 7 Ks, 2 walks. Magical. It's what you needed.
magical. Oh my God, the Luis
Sometimes you
Castillo
don't
is
always get
back
what you want, but you get what you need. And what we needed was first game out of the break, Luis Castillo.
to absolutely shove. When I saw he had a low pitch count going into the fifth, I was like, oh, he's gonna go deep into this game. That's very good.
Yes, he was very
uh,
good, but we couldn't pick it because we didn't know who the starters were going to be until Thursday, and we recorded on Wednesday. So that puts me as the winner of Pick to Click for the week, and I think I've got a 2 game lead on you now in the division of Pick to Click. But guess what? You get a shot to try and redeem yourself. I know a game's being played right now. Not a ton of great things have happened offensively. It's been a pitcher's duel so far. So my picks were locked in before the start. Well, I have
Mine
2 guys
weren't.
for each because I let you pick first because
Yeah,
I'm nice and it can pivot a little quicker. All
yeah.
right, Kane, who is your offense a pick to click this week?
My offensive pick to click this week is going to be me a little bit more of John Paul, JP Crawford. I think he's due. He was hitting great before the break. Still trying to get, he's still an on base percentage master.
He was just below Julio in average, but also had 3 hits, but didn't meet my criteria of
Yeah.
250 was kind of my cutoff for the weekend. And that just happened to be where Julio was at because we had to talk about picks to click.
Yep.
But he did have an extra base hit and a couple RBIs.
I think JP Crawford's gonna have a huge week this week. Especially not probably not so much in the Brewers series, but in the Angels series, yes, because it's a division opponent. He knows what he needs to do. So, Coach Red, who's your offensive player this week?
Right now, he's the man D. So give me Randy
Yeah, that's a good
Rosarena.
pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were gonna snag him, and I was gonna go
Nah,
like a month straight on Julio to keep that. We've seen upticks in Julio, but what Randy's been doing recently, he's gonna be out there every single day.
yep.
Obviously, going up to the break really played himself into the All-Star game. He's been one of the more prolific home run hitters over the course of the last month, or 3 weeks, if you want to call it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, just let's stay hot, keep this thing going, and hoping to see what we saw early in the season with a big RBI week. I don't necessarily need the ball to leave the yard, but I would like to see Randy
Extra base
notch
hits.
6, 7 ribbies this week.
Yes. I think that's a good little head to head right there. A little JP and Randy this week. I like that.
Off from some of the norms. Let's go to pitcher of the week.
Well, I just
You can
hinted
pick
at it.
starters or
I just
you can
hinted
still
at
pick
it.
relievers.
We're gonna go Luis Castillo. I believe he's got two. He gets two starts because he's gonna pitch in Anaheim.
Okay, that's
No, no, he won't actually. No, but
your 2 starters this week are going to be Kirby and Gilbert.
that's tough. But now give me Luis Castillo. He's got the day game on Wednesday, and I think it's going to be a big one. And it's another one you're going to need from him. And what he's done, I believe, his last 6 outings now has just been absolutely dominant. The Luis Castillo that you traded for back in 2022, so or 2023, year we made the playoffs. 2023. No,
2022.
22. Okay. But he's been him again. He's been the rock. So give me Luis Castillo. Coach Red, who are you going with this week?
I'm just like Castillo was my backup if you were to pick this other person.
Is it
And
George?
I was going to say Castillo another reason. He's just a different pitcher at T-Mobile Park. And
Yes.
on the getaway day, I think that you're going to see a good version of him. But yeah, I'm going to take George Kirby. You got two starts. I thought
Looked
about,
phenomenal tonight so
I,
far.
yeah, I thought of going Logan Gilbert, but I didn't love the matchup with
Yeah.
your favorite last name.
Mizorowski.
Yeah.
I'm terrified for tomorrow night.
I'm not.
Terrified.
I think they can still do stuff, but I think with
Sure.
Logan, especially recently and in the past, like he's used to getting run support. He hasn't seen it as much lately,
Yeah.
or he's given up a little bit more, a little bit earlier than we are anticipating. But um, if you would have given me a different pitcher against him, I probably would have leaned towards Logan.
That's fair.
But I'm going to take George Kirby. Um, I love the two start capacity. I feel like George Kirby does traditionally well in division
Mhm.
too. So you get that angel start. You have a team that hasn't seen George Kirby much in the Brewers, where you can keep him off balance. You've seen when watching this game already that he's induced a lot of ground balls. His pitch count is in excellent condition. Probably just jinxed everything, but give me George Kirby in the two starts.
Fair. My gut was screaming at me all day to take
Yeah,
Luis
I
Castillo.
Luis Castillo is right there for me too.
Yeah, like absolutely just take him, take him, take him. And I had to go with my gut. I expect another good outing from him.
All right, now it's time to talk about the upcoming series, three at home versus the Brewers, who said have won 10 straight coming into this game. The Mariners are 5-1 in their last six. So a tale of two teams playing pretty well. You've got the Mariners have arguably outside of Wu right now. I mean, before Wu this year, your top three starters going in this series against the Brewers. They've got Brandon Woodruff coming back. You've got Mizorowski on Tuesday, and
And
I'm
then you
not
have
sure who was
Quinn
throwing.
Priester on Wednesday.
So I think you see the edge overall in starters for the Mariners. Um, you saw Spire get back on the right side
Mhm.
of his game. You saw it with Munoz, you saw it with Bizardo, you saw it with Brash a little bit. He looked shaky, could not land the slider, but he limited the damage with how ugly it looked, right? But
Yeah, 100%.
you've got Thornton, who's been throwing well outside of the one outing after he came back that he gave up runs. He's actually been pretty solid
Pretty
since he's
okay.
come back.
I
So
can't. I just
it's time
can't.
for the bats to heat up
Yes.
against the Brewers. And then just let the bats heat up when you take it down to 100-degree California.
And don't throw to Joe Adele. That's all I'm asking. Don't throw to Joe Adele. He has been what Mike Trout does to us this year. And I don't like it.
All right, let's go into the trade farm. And I want you to go. We've kind of talked about this before and in the past on this podcast about kind of positions you're looking to improve going to that playoff run. You're looking at first base, third base, and reliever. I think those would be most people would call the most glaring holes within this team. So, what I would like you to do is we'll start with first base, and you give me what guy you would want the Mariners to go get. Ultimate, I want to go get this guy. Here's why. And then here's who I think that they will get potentially to fill that spot. Um, if you want to throw out some other guys that you
I got
kind
two.
of had rumbling, and potentially what it would look like if you were just trying to get that player, no packages for a larger scope. So,
Sure,
first base,
sure.
Kane, who would
I
be like the guy that you would want to go get?
I've got two, but I think it's just I'm gonna explain my thing on it in just a second. But so one is Ryan O'Hearn, having a good year. He's having a good year. And my only worry is that, it's just an anomaly, whatever. And I don't want
He's a
that.
rental in its contract year.
And I also don't want to see him have the Mariners curse where coming in and just can't hit, right? Um, but I also would love to get Josh Naylor. High average guy, can put the ball out of the park, but this year's a down year for home runs, but it's up on the average, and I believe the RBI numbers are there. So give me a competent, and as we were saying earlier, with the rise of Dom Canzone, you kick um, Luke out to right field and slot Josh Naylor in at first. And Josh Naylor can hit lefties.
Mhm.
So that's an everyday bat for you.
He hits lefties better than Dominic Solano currently does.
Yeah, exactly. So those are my two. I think realistically, you could get them both. Not like, you know, separately. Like, I think you could make a deal done for Ryan O'Hearn. And I also think it's going to be a combo trade for Josh Naylor. So don't worry. It'll all make sense soon.
All right. Well, I'll go with my big want. And technically, he is a negative zero point 0.1 war player
Okay.
as we sit here right now. But it's a guy who I've liked. If you're looking at what the Mariners prefer to do, which is get guys with more control, O'Hearn and Naylor are both free agents at the end of this year. The guy that I'm talking about, he has another year of arbitration, former All Star, 15 homers this year. The average was down at around 215, 62 RBIs on the year. It's Nathaniel Lowe. When the Texas Rangers shipped him to the Nationals and then went and got Jake Berger, who now they're employing Rowdy Tellez to play first base. I couldn't believe it. You've got Lowe, who's had success, was an all star when they won the championship. Numbers were a little down last year. They're not exactly where you want them to be, but this is a guy who plays a very good first base, big
That's fair.
time power numbers. This is a guy that can help anchor your team and give you a little bit more certainty past this year. Like we brought up in the last episode, I don't think the Mariners think that Tyler Locklear is the future, or else he'd be on this team already.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
So go ahead and give me a guy where you can stew on it, or you could sit there and go, well, we'll use Tyler Locklear as a trade piece. I think that going and getting a Nathaniel Lowe type guy that's played in division, he's had success, world champion. I
That's
like
fair.
I like the cut of his jib.
That's fair. That's fair. And also, he probably wants to wreak havoc on the division anyway. So that's
The
fair.
player that I think that they're feasibly going to get is probably Josh Naylor. Reason I say that, I know that you love making complex trades, but Josh Naylor out of Nathaniel Lowe and O'Hearn, I think will come at a slightly lower cost because the power numbers aren't there. I'm super intrigued by that average though. And I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
you need the Mariners to go and acquire to have another good average in the middle. So that way Randy's knocking him in or he's knocking Randy in and Cal.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to have that another middle of the lineup that has power, got good RBI numbers on the year, and is hitting 290, and I think would be the cheapest offer out of the three that we brought up.
Sure. Yeah, it makes too much sense, right? You try to make a deep push, and I think that's the player to make a push for. So
All right, I'm gonna lead off third base because if there is a third baseman that I think could be available, very, very rough could here. It would take a haul. I know he talked about like an Acuna deal. This it'd be similar, and there would be a lot of guys that I would be willing to give up, top prospect wise, to go get this player, and it's Jose Ramirez.
oh gosh, man. Yeah. Yeah.
That if he is truly available, because
Right, yeah.
the
At this
Guardians have
point,
said Clase is available. Stephen Kwan's name's getting thrown out. If they're really trying to save money and recoup big prospects to
I think
refarm that team back up, Jose Ramirez, I would give up.
every
I would give up Colt Emerson in a
yeah.
Jose. I would give Harry Ford. Pack your
Not
bags.
not Laz. Not Laz. Not
Laz might be
Laz.
the only guy that would be off the table for me.
Yeah.
I think he's my only
100%.
like Colt Emerson is mainly off, but if Colt Emerson gets you Jose Ramirez, I appreciated talking about you, Colt.
And let's not forget the control that you have. That's a lot of years for one of the best hitters in the league.
One
And
of the
you
best
pair that
players.
and you put that with Cal and Julio, I think that elevates Julio right
Yeah.
there.
You want to I said what if I'm shooting for the stars. I told you at the beginning of this. Like
Yeah.
I'm ready to make some moves and I'm ready to make the right move. And that is the rightest of moves. If Bryce Miller needs to go to get Jose Ramirez, Bryce, I love you. I love the mustache, but I'm sorry. You're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with that.
There's a ton of guys I would give up to go get Jose Ramirez.
Dude, I'd buy a J Ram jersey so fast. So fast.
And then he wouldn't have to hit off Matt Brash anymore.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna meet in the middle. Who is your Mariners? You're gonna have your want, which we'll get to, but who is your guy that you think the Mariners could get
Like
feasibly?
if I'm gonna shoot for the stars, kind of
I
like you.
didn't say shoot for
I'm
unless
not
you're
okay.
changing it because I know where
I'll
we're gonna finish.
we're gonna finish there. That's fine. Nolan Arenado, right? We have talked about this before. It's been brought up before. I get he has a no trade clause, but going after Nolan Arenado with the plus defense and just that veteran leadership, I still like Nolan Arenado.
You could say you can settle there because there would probably be some cash thrown in on this to
Sure.
offset. Um, but I think you're top guy, and this is for me. It's not that the Mariners like this is their settling deal. I think it's the move that needs to be made, and
Yes.
his play over the last weekend has made that asking price go up. And I think that the Mariners owe it to this fan base to bring back a fan favorite and admit your faults. And it's going to cost you a good prospect. You
Hmm.
before said multiple top 10 guys, and you're never going to see that for a rental bat because you can't. I do think that if the Mariners make a trade for a Eugenio Suarez, that they do work on an extension because the power numbers have been there big time.
He's putting up in the last two seasons in Arizona, he's averaging about the same stats that he put up in 2023 with the Mariners.
2022, 22,
Mm,
not 23. 23 was the down year for Gino.
yeah, but he still had like a 3.1 war.
Not in the down year.
I'm pretty sure in 2023, there's a stat. I saw it.
Oh, that was the rough year.
Yeah, but it's he still had a pretty solid year.
Oh, sorry. Had to watch that play at the plate.
Yep.
But no, I think that Gino will cost you something that you don't want to give up, but you're looking at that return being potentially a 7, 8, 9, 10 prospect, probably another one in your top 30.
I mean, I could see like a type heat in that.
Yeah, I think you could see like Ty Pete. You
A
might
Michael
even see
Arroyo.
it might even cost. I'm thinking if I'm looking at two players who I think the Mariners are
Because
willing to give up in the right
this,
move. If you're
but
talking about your master trade, if you can get Josh Naylor, Gino, and per se a pitcher,
mhm.
I think that you could see that's where I would see two top 10 prospects potentially getting moved. I think you would see uh what is it? Durangelo St. J. I think you could see
Magente.
yeah, I think you could see him potentially and a Ty Pete and another guy and potentially a Dom Canzone going back in return.
Mhm.
Um, which if you can couple that and get a Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly thrown in to help
Yeah.
you as that fringe guy that could float, be long relief in the bullpen, could take over one of the young guys' spots for now, see what Bryce is when he gets back, go from there.
Sure.
Jinxed it.
You sure did.
Jinxed it. Okay, let's go to the final place, and that is relievers.
Mhm.
Who's the guy that you'd want to go get?
Felix Bautista from the Orioles. The dude is an absolute monster of a man. He throws the ball really hard. He's got a good slider. I believe he's got a splitter that he throws as well. And the Orioles are struggling. They are in a very bad down year. Um, and I think you see them offload a
They're going to
couple.
offload relievers.
Sure. And I think they're just trying to get some more prospects in the door. So I think Felix Bautista is a good move, and that's who I want, I suppose. Coach Red, who do you want?
The top guy, since I'm splurging potentially
Is it a
On a J Ram deal, I'm gonna I think that it's tough going and getting those top flight guys because it's
Yeah.
going to be more prospect costs and with the volatility of relief pitchers. I'm going to get a guy that's played at an all-star level for multiple years, gives you another big left-handed arm in the bullpen, and it's David Bednar from the Pirates, sitting around 4.5 ERA
David
on
Bednar's a right-handed pitcher.
he
So
looks
you know that.
left-handed in the pictures.
He's a right-handed pitcher, just so you know.
Well, I still like him.
No, he's really bounced back this year after having a down last year.
Well, he's still sitting at a 4.5 ERA this year.
Yeah, it's popped up a little bit better than the velos are back up and the controls a little better.
But I think that's a guy that you could just get for a top 20 prospect and
100%.
help
You don't have to
make
give up
your
much.
big league roster better.
Yeah, like I know Colin Snyder's on his way back, but like I mean, they called up Brandon Garcia too, so that's cool. I needed another lefty in the bullpen.
Yeah, who's your kind of settling reliever
I mean,
or
I could
you think is most likely to happen?
I don't know because like outside of the handfuls that I know, and plus all of the cards that I use on MLB The Show are cards of prominent relievers on teams. Uh,
I'll help you out. Um,
Sure.
this is a guy that I think is a most likely trade because he has more than 1 year of control. He's put up good numbers for multiple years. He plays on a team that doesn't necessarily have a chance of making it right now into the playoffs. And that's going to be, I think it's Steve Ursig from the Royals.
Oh,
So, oh,
Lucas Urseg of the
sorry,
Royals. Yes.
Lucas Ursig. Go ahead and give me him because he has pitched in higher leverage roles
Mhm.
for the Royals. His ERA is low. He gets brought out there quite a bit. And he's controllable beyond this year. This is another place where I could see potentially like a Dom Canzone going back in return,
Mhm.
potentially seeing a Tyler Locklear esque move if they throw in a little bit more, right?
Sure, but I don't know
Or
about
you could
that
also
with
couple in,
Vinny
give me
and
Vinny Pasquantino. Apparently, he's on
yeah,
the block too. We didn't bring him up.
sure. I wouldn't mind a Vinny Pasquantino because then you'd have two awesome nicknames on the same team.
Well, and
And then him
Pasquantino
and
is a big fan of Cal Raleigh.
yeah, I think that would be awesome. And you could get Urseg while you're at it. Sure. Give me that too. But I think we both know where it's gonna go. So
JT Chargois,
he's still unsigned. Did you know that?
Paul Sewald.
It's either he's unsigned. Well, Seawald just hit the IL. So
Can't say healthy.
no.
But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting week. We'll see how the Mariners fare.
I hope they do it before the weekend. That's really all I gotta say.
Yeah, I would expect you're starting to see smaller name guys get moved.
The
So,
biggest name right now that's been moved was Adam Frazier.
yep.
So
Yep, that hot stove is just heating up. We're still on low, but it's about to
yeah,
blow.
yeah. Well, they could blow up our followers, right?
Could blow up our follower count by finding people like me, your boy Coach Red, over on X at the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red, TikTok at the real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Whew. Sorry, I was about to cough there. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave a comment or two. Kane, where you at?
You can find me over on Twitter, Kane2406, TikTok and Twitch, Kane0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Falls. Do it, freaking do it.
And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh, peeps.
Peace.